All right, hello and welcome to Swing It and Ding It, an iHeartMedia podcast. This is Moose along with Mays and Matthews. And today we're talking about a little golf industry, a little fitting, little golf clubs. We're joined by Andrew Patterson, fitting team lead at PXG Philadelphia, which is actually right out in King of Prussia. I have not been out there yet, but I'm dying to go check it out. Andrew, welcome to Swing It and Ding It, man. How's it going?
It's going great. Thank you. Thank you all for having me. This is awesome.
Absolutely. So how are things going? Just give us a little bit of the background, your background, and kind of getting things started here with PXG in Philly.
Yeah, so I'm originally from the central PA area. I moved out to down closer to Philly when I was in college. I went to Westchester, played golf there for 4 years, graduated at Westchester, and actually coached at Eastern University. Coached the college golf team there, the men's and women's team, for 4 years, got my master's degree, came over to PXG as a mobile fitter to start, was traveling around Philly and central PA in a van and doing fits at clubs and stuff, which was awesome. It was super fun. And then once the retail space opened up, moved into the store and worked my way up in a couple different roles. And now I'm the fitting team leader. So
when did the store open? It's only been...
Yeah, it's just been close to 2 years now.
2 years.
So we opened in December of 21.
Gotcha.
Tell us about what can someone expect when they walk in the door? How big's the space, and what all will they see?
Yeah, so it's a very, very unique store. It's honestly unlike any other golf store. It's about 7,000 square feet, so it's a pretty good size to it. You walk in and you're greeted by our cash wrap, and our retail associates up front. And then from once you take a right, you have the entire retail space. We have all of our apparel, accessories. We have a putting green in the middle of the store. And then you go into 2 separate rooms, and we have our TrackMan fitting bays, and we also have a putter fitting studio as well. So plenty of space. It's really neat.
Now, do you do both full club fitting and the putter fitting, or is there a specialist just for the putter?
Yeah, so we do it both ways. We do full bag fittings where we fit you for literally driver down to putter. We have a separate putter fitting room where we specifically focus on putter. So we have like a 10-foot green in there. You hit, 8 to 10 footers. And then we have a TrackMan in there with a TV. So we can put up all the data and numbers on there. It's really, really neat. And then all of our putter heads, putter shaft options, you can select so many different ones now. So it's neat to be able to show everyone how, putter can really change your game getting fitted for that. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like a lot of people do full club fittings, but often overlook a full putter fitting.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Yeah, no, it's really interesting because I played college golf. I played golf my whole life and picked a putter just based off looks, right? Like I just played a blade putter. But it's really interesting because once you get fitted for a putter, the most important piece is going to be the end of that shaft on the bottom. So you have like a double bend, you have a plumber's neck, you have some shafts that are an H neck. So they're all made to do different things. What's neat with PXG is we can put any one of those shafts on any putter head. So those shafts are going to fit people differently based off what their stroke type is. So I played golf forever and I thought I was a decent putter. And then I got fitted for a putter and realized I wasn't in the setup that I thought I should have been in. So I'm like, man, I missed out on all these years. I thought I could be, doing so much better. So it is interesting. It's cool.
About every 6-footer you've taken, haven't
you? Yeah. I mean, it's neat. We're one of the only few companies that can change the hosel onto any putter head. So that customization level is really neat.
How many different putter heads do they have?
Oh man. We have at least, I'm going to say 13,
Jeez.
14. So we have 2 different putter lineups. Yeah. We have our premium putter lineup. It's called our battle ready putters. Those are the ones that are super customizable. And then we have more of our entry level putter. That's called our 0211 lineup. The 0211 lineup, we don't adjust that head and hosel on. They come, pre-made as they are. The battle ready lineup, we can customize that to any level. So a lot of options.
Andrew, what would you say? 2 questions, kind of all, related to the same thing. What would you say are the most common misconceptions people have when they get to a PXG store? And then what is your kind of valuable point of difference that you try to relay as soon as you can to customers who come in or who don't really understand the whole process?
Yeah, so I would say the two biggest misconceptions I probably hear is, people come in and they're like, man, PXG is going to be so expensive. It's the premium, best of the best, which our product is awesome. And I would say we are the best, but our product is extremely competitively priced against everyone else in the market. And we really offer a lineup of clubs for every single budget. So no matter what you're looking to get fitted for, we have our 0211 lineup of clubs, which is our entry level, and it's extremely affordable. And then we have our Gen 6 product, which is this year's newest product. And that's really the best of the best. So once we walk everyone through the pricing level, I think everyone, understands our pricing is a lot more reasonable and different now. A really big misconception I also hear is, you have players that come in that are higher handicap players or newer to golf, and they say, I'm going to work on my game first before I get fitted, or I'm not good enough to get fitted for clubs. And while I can understand that, it's easy for us to argue just the opposite, right? Players that are getting started out in the game, everyone swings a little bit different. Everyone's going to swing a different club head speed. Everyone's going to have a different tempo, right? So by playing clubs that aren't fitted to you, you're really delaying the process of getting better and improving faster. So if I can fit somebody for clubs who's just starting out or is a higher handicap, I know without a doubt that I'm going to be able to make tweaks to the clubs that are going to help them right away. And it's going to help them get better quicker.
We were talking about that in our group text with the bounce on the wedges this past
the bounce
weekend.
on the wedges. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I know you have a large presence on the ladies on the LPGA tour as well as the PGA tour. So there's a lot of offerings that you would have for, let's say like my wife plays golf. She looks for a new set of irons. I mean, PXG has a lot to offer for women, right?
Yeah, that's true. So actually, all of our club heads that we use are used for men and women. Specifically, when we fit, men versus women, it's going to really come down to the shaft and the length of the shaft and changing that weight in the iron head or the driver head if we can. But the heads are going to be used the same throughout all men and women.
Okay.
And are your shafts typical like every other brand with like a woman's senior?
Correct. Yeah. So we have a
Regular.
pretty big matrix of different shafts. So yeah, I mean we have shafts that are down to 30 grams, shafts that are the whole way up to 130 grams in an iron, for example. So yeah, it varies, but plenty of options to fit every single type of player.
Andrew, talk about the process itself, right? Someone signs up for a fitting. What can they expect? Some people, have done it maybe elsewhere or haven't done it at all yet and really don't quite understand what the process is. Talk about how you, can figure out and learn from that player and then adjust and make things happen for them.
Yeah. So, we'll have a customer that will call into the store and schedule an appointment, or they will go to our website and schedule an appointment. We look at our calendar here in the store. We can see our appointments for the day. So once we know someone is scheduled for the next couple of days, we can pull up their appointment. We're going to give them a call in advance, and we're going to talk to them for 5 to 10 minutes before they even come into the store here. Basically, we're going to talk to them about their golf game and find out more about what they're looking for. So, we'll ask them questions such as, what do they know about PXG? What clubs are they playing right now? What's their handicap? What is their big miss right now in their golf game? So once we get that information, they'll come to the store for their time. They'll bring their clubs with them. Our fitters will be prepared knowing the notes that we had on that conversation before they came in the store, so they know what to expect. They'll get in the bays. So once they get in the bays with their fitter and arrive for their appointment, we'll have them warm up, hit a couple shots, typically in a full bag fitting, for example. We'll start in the irons, work our way up to the woods. But we'll have every customer bring their clubs in. We'll have them hit some shots with their clubs. We'll present the TrackMan data to them with their clubs to show them, just a baseline of where we're at. And then we'll usually start in irons, go through the fitting process. If we start in irons, for example, I might, give a customer 3 different head options so they can see those 3 options. Maybe we eliminate one of those right off the bat based off of, handicap or distance that they're looking to gain, right? And we'll start in the fitting process. So we'll change iron head, we'll change shaft, we'll change length, we'll change lie angle, we'll change the actual weight in the back of the iron head, which will change the overall swing weight and preference for a player. And between all of those changes, we'll look at the TrackMan data, show the differences in our clubs versus the customer's clubs, right? And what's really neat with TrackMan in our bays is it shows a really cool picture, and we'll paint a really cool picture of the apples to apples difference of, your club versus the one I just fitted you for.
And also like dispersion patterns and all that
Yep.
kind of stuff, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
dispersion, everything.
Yeah, when you talk about all this data, because TrackMan gives you a ton of data. I mean, there's people that love all this stuff. They just dive in and they're into it. But if you had to narrow it down to maybe 2 or 3 things that are really important for the average player, that this data that they can get from TrackMan in a fitting, what would you say those 2 or 3 things are?
Yeah, I mean, whenever we look at the TrackMan data, some of the biggest things I would say that are going to stand out right away is your club head speed, your lie angle whenever you're making contact with the ball, and probably your spin rate. Those are 3 numbers that will stand out right away in our first couple swings. And, making adjustments to those 3 things alone, or making tweaks to the club to figure those 3 out alone, can make massive improvements.
Sorry, I thought you were jumping in. My bad. To talk about the rest of the store, right? There's the fitting, but what else is there for people to offer? Obviously, we're coming up around the holidays, right? We're getting start to think, oh crap! I heard my wife say 10 times that they need a new this, they need a new that. Just talk about some of the ways that you guys approach this season coming up, which is probably pretty important to the PXG team.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously we have the fitting process, and we have a separate room with all of our bays. Right when you walk outside of the bays, we have everything you can imagine possible from a retail standpoint. So, we have polos, vests, pullovers, hats, beanies, socks, golf bags, golf balls, gloves. I mean, every golf accessory you can think of, it is going to be here in the store with PXG's name on it. I pulled just a couple small pieces here for you guys to see. We have some new USA beanies with the flag on one side, PXG logo on the other.
Nice.
But yeah, there's a lot of really cool options. We actually just launched our fall and winter apparel lineup. So we have new colors, new styles for men and women. One really cool piece with our apparel lineup is obviously we have a lot of golf tailored apparel, but we also have a whole separate side of apparel that is made specifically for off the golf course as well. So, just between different hoodies, long sleeve shirts that you can dress up and wear to dinner. We make dresses for women. I mean, there's literally everything.
Wow.
So it's very unique. Yeah, it's very unique. It's very cool. And obviously it has that new stylish trend to it, which is really neat.
I like the vest you have on there. I see the PXG. Yeah.
Yep.
Good looking.
Yeah,
piece.
this is actually a little bit older vest, but this is one of our newer apparel. So we have the Carolina blue, looking on the wrong side with the PXG tag on the collar, which is neat. So yeah.
So if someone's looking to do that to the gift, could they do a gift certificate for fitting or for a putter or something? What's the best way if someone's really looking to do that?
Yeah, so we sell gift certificates in store here, and if you get a gift certificate, you can use that towards a fitting. You can use that towards your golf clubs that you want to get fitted for. You can use it towards apparel. Yeah, I mean it's pretty simple. You can get those and buy those in store, and then they're meant to be used in the store here. So yeah, you can use them towards anything. Pretty easy.
Did you guys last year do a thing on the funniest golf Christmas gifts that you got? Didn't we do something on Twitter with that?
Yeah.
So get a PXG gift certificate instead of getting the counting beads or the customized golf balls with your daughter's photo on it.
Now,
Yeah.
obviously, the store is located on Henderson Road in King of Prussia, or just off Henderson Road. But is there a specific website for that location that people can go to maybe set something up or get a gift certificate?
Yeah, so the easiest way to find us, if you just go to PXG's normal website, pxg.com, there's a little button on the top right that'll say fitting locations, and you can type in a zip code, a state, or a city as well, and it'll tell you all the locations that you can get a fitting around that zip code. So if you put in King of Prussia or Philly zip code, it'll pull up the Philadelphia location. We don't have a Philadelphia specific website. But that'll give you more information about the store, where it's located, what's around it. And then it's usually pretty simple to find, once you get out here close to us.
Awesome.
Yeah, great. Thank you for joining us. I know we're talking about maybe bringing our team out there to do something on site, which would be a lot of fun.
For sure.
Yeah, would love to. Can't wait to see it in person. It kind of has this like aura of like, if you haven't been there and haven't seen it or haven't played a PXG club, you're trying to learn about it, but you can't get the information fast enough.
For sure. Yeah. You guys got to come check it out. Like I said, it's very unique and it is different from most golf stores. So, if you love golf and you're a golf nerd, like this is the home for you.
Well, I think PXG stands for Parsons Extreme Golf, correct?
Yes.
Now, have you met Mr. Parsons?
I have met Mr. Parsons one time. We had our Philadelphia store opening party. And him and his wife came out, and it was awesome to meet them. He's a tremendous guy. He's one of the most fun individuals you could ever honestly speak to, which was really cool.
Right.
But yeah, I did get the chance to meet him one time.
Now, I believe that's his voice in the commercials, correct?
Yes, all the commercials up to now has been his voice. He has tons of energy.
Yes.
And it's awesome, and it's really cool because that'll spread around, and so we like to have fun here, and we definitely do things different, but it's such a fun atmosphere, and it's a really cool team. So
the commercials definitely get your attention. I was just wondering, does he talk like that in normal life?
Honestly, there's a little comparison. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can see it translate over. Maybe not quite as loud as the commercials, but when you hear him talk, it's him talking.
Right.
So, yeah.
You said up until now, are you switching up the voice of the brand?
Well, I know I just saw a commercial, and it might have just been one specifically for the social media that was another voice on there. But yeah, all of the ones on national television, they've all been Mr. Parsons. Yeah. Very
cool.
Awesome. Well, listen, good luck through the holiday season. I also know it's Veterans Day, which is a big thing for your company as well. Andrew Patterson, fitting team lead out of PXG Philadelphia. Go see what he has to offer and everything else that's going on in the store. And hopefully we'll get out there ourselves soon to check it out. Thanks, Andrew.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
All right, let's take a quick break and we will be right back. All right, and welcome back to Swing It and Ding It. Nice to talk to Andrew Patterson. PXG is one of those brands. It's like the people that use it absolutely love it. Then people that are a little bit hesitant, you can't really try out the clubs outside of their own stores. But an interesting concept of kind of that direct to consumer, higher end in most regards, but still seems like there's affordable ways to use their clubs too.
Yeah, I'm going to check out their store. I'm going to look online to see. It sounds like it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and if you think about what they've done, I mean, I don't know how long exactly that they've been around, but they have really made like an imprint in the golf space. I mean, coming into that new with all those established brands and thinking, just the way they did that with the way they do their marketing. I mean, it's like they've got tons of players on all the tours with, wearing the gear and playing the irons and the drivers and the putters and what have you. They've really made some serious headway.
Who are some of their top pros they have on roster?
I know Zach Johnson is one of them.
I think Eric Cole might play PXG.
Yes, he does. He does.
Okay.
And they've got a lot of LPGA players too, like good players.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I work with brands every day, and it's like, I hate the term brand awareness because it's like, I'd rather have action and sales.
Right.
But from a brand awareness standpoint, like, them and what they are and what they stand for, right? There's that identity that most brands like try to find for years and years and years. They have it pretty clear.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's something you're interested or not, it's a different story, but like, they've definitely made their mark and have their identity pretty clearly defined, which is cool to see.
Right, but Andrew's correct though. Like when you first heard about PXG, your initial thought was, "Oh, those are super expensive." Well,
Yeah.
I can't afford those. Well, that's not necessarily the case. You do a little investigation, and the chances are you're going to be able to afford quite a bit.
Yeah, no doubt. So, Harry, we can't take any credit because we did the podcast after the tournament started last week, and we really didn't put him out as a pick. But we definitely mentioned Eric Van Rooyen and said keep a lookout for him. He might get a little W here at the Worldwide Technology Championship, and he sure did.
Yeah, he did. And I know we said he needed a big week, and he got a big week, and it was a very emotional week, which I wasn't aware of coming into it. But that was something that kind of drew me in over the weekend once I started figuring out the story. But I wanted to know from you, because you're Mr. Jogger, and so is EVR. Did you wear the joggers? Do you have them on right now in celebration?
I will be wearing them on Saturday for our Patrick's Revenge tournament at the Legacy Club.
Okay.
Us in the jogger community really need to stick together and show support and solidarity, especially in hard times like this. And that's exactly what I'll be doing, Harry.
Nice. I was thinking about that. The joggers and that bristling mustache. I mean, this guy has got a look. He's got a brand.
Now, Eric,
one of the broadcasts kept saying stoic.
Yeah,
so stoic.
He's wearing them in like the mid 80s. I'm going to mid 40s. It's a little bit of a story, but hey, I'm willing to make that sacrifice for my jogger brother there. Yeah, he looks like it. I've seen someone else say this too, so I don't want to take credit for it. Like you could go into like a hipster bar in Brooklyn and he could be the bartender.
Right. Yeah, some IPA place with those fancy, expensive beers, and yeah. But of course, he was playing.
Like, your drink for 10 minutes before he gives it to you. You're like,
in the face is just no expression.
Right. And then he's got that South African accent too, which adds to it, which is cool. But
Harry, you said the emotional story behind it. Provide some of that for the listeners.
Yeah, I mean, he and his caddy both played college golf at the University of Minnesota, the Golden Gophers. And one of their teammates, a guy named John Trasamar, is going through, he's got terminal cancer, apparently. It's like a melanoma that is like an advanced stage, I assume, and it's grave. And they were playing with a heavy heart, both of them. And you saw at the end there, the caddy just really broke down. EVR, to his credit, kind of held it together. I guess because he just felt, I don't know, he had to, and he maybe he's still in a little bit of shock of how this all went down. The guy shot 28 on the closing 9, including an eagle on the final hole to close things out. I mean, it was unbelievable. But the caddy obviously, kind of lost it, and both of those guys were playing for their friend and teammate. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's definitely cool when there's a backstory like that.
Yeah.
And you see the emotion come out. A PGA Tour win is emotional enough, then you add something like that into it.
And then, of course, the Villegas story, which everybody kind of knows by now, which is tragic. And
I was rooting for him the entire way. We volunteer and help out Mia's Miracles, my company, each month. So I wanted Villegas to win. I was the entire time rooting for him.
Nobody wanted Kuchar to win, I guess.
Cooch. I mean, if there was a different
scenario,
then maybe we want Cooch to win
because he was looking for number 10, double digits.
Yeah, which would have also been cool. So many storylines that if they played out, they all would have been cool.
Eric Van Rooyen gets number 2, his second.
But that eagle, but my God.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last week. Like, there were times a couple years ago, year and a half ago, where you're like, man, this guy's coming on strongly. He was always top 10s, like you saw him on the board, and then had a often happens when we see him. And what we said last week too about a tournament like this is you love seeing either a first-time winner or someone getting it back. Right? This tournament where Scotty Scheffler wins his 3rd of the season. Right? It's a different field, and you have some incredible storylines, and to see that come out like that this week was really, really cool. So congratulations to EVR.
Well, one person we know that did not enjoy the tournament was Kelly Craft.
Yeah, she's going to spill some tea on this, I believe, Moose.
Yeah, let's go right into spilling the tea with Dick.
Yeah, don't have too much prepared, but we can go right into this. Kelly Craft put up an Instagram post of his swing on the driving range, and he said, best part about this week was having my family here and watching the Rangers win the World Series. About golf, not sure where to start. All I can say is the PGA Tour could do a better job at picking courses to host these events. In my opinion, this wasn't my favorite course, and I've played on tour for a little while. Better luck next week. Side note, I will say that Worldwide Technology did a great job with what they had. Thanks for the hospitality. So guess he didn't like the track, but I don't know if you guys were watching on 18, like we saw where the pin was, but when the camera was back and you saw the back of that green,
yeah,
I mean, the course didn't look like it was in the best condition.
Well, and the fairways were really wide, and I think a lot of these guys get annoyed with that because then everybody can kind of hit the fairways and it becomes a second shot golf course and hit it on the right
It was
part
at
of the
5
green.
under,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But if it's too easy, then why didn't you win?
Well, that's true. That's true.
Like if he gets a top 5, he's saying how great it was. Right.
Well, I know Adam Long, I think, hit every fairway all 4 days. Okay, which never happens on the PGA Tour, and he finished 10 shots off the lead. I believe. I think he was 17 under.
When will these guys?
How important your short game and putting is.
Exactly.
When will these guys ever learn that sound bites like that just don't play well?
No,
right?
No.
It's make you look bad no matter what, and it happens all the time. And I don't know if you guys have lousy agents or lousy PR people, or can't bite their tongue in certain scenarios, but there is nothing positive that can come out of saying something like that.
Right.
No. And that's like, I mean, for me, like I would think, it's kind of like saying something about your employer. Like PGA Tour needs to do a better job with these courses. Like,
right.
You
just,
Now it became clickbait.
Yeah, and Tiger
Woods it's his course and his first one. So, Kelly Craft took a shot at Tiger Woods. He really didn't take a shot at Tiger. He just didn't like the golf course.
He's disgruntled because he didn't play great. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. How was you had the tournament after we talked, right, at the 1912 Club?
Well, we had a cross country tournament on Saturday, which is always an awesome. Gene Stricker and Brad Call, the superintendent and assistant superintendent, put together a par 3 course of 18 holes.
Wow.
Teeing off from, let's say, the 12th tee, the red tee on 12, going over to the 4th green. That was our first hole. So they rig up 18 holes throughout the property. It's one of the most fun days that you could spend. I've done it for the last 4 years, and it just keeps getting better and better. We finished at 5 under. The winners were, I believe, 8 under, and we had 7 birdies and 2 bogeys. We started off with a bogey, which is all bad, but we had a blast, and they do a tremendous job at putting together that tournament on each and every year. So
nice.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Saturday I'm playing in. It's called Patrick's Revenge, which is the greens, head greens.
Right.
There's might be a hose running across one of the greens, or you're teeing off from behind a tree, or
really? They do that? Okay.
So that his revenge is setting up.
You're playing in that
in a hard way for you to play. I'm like, I have a hard enough time just in a regular course setup.
Yeah, I thought
Are you playing in that though?
And mow it.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Playing
double cut and roll it.
Yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Tee off from behind a tree. It's pretty great.
Right. Or like you might have to start out from a bunker, or the hole or the flag might be in a bunker. There's all kinds of crazy stuff. So
That's cool.
Really looking forward to playing.
Wow.
We
have to get some content of that so we can see it.
Yeah, I'll definitely take some pictures and share them for sure. But I've been getting a little bit of warm. We have this, we've developed this foursome. It's myself, Bill Colarulo, legal hand, my boy Dom, and Mike Weiner, who participated in our golf outing. And the way it works out with Dom and I and Mike, we're very evenly matched with strokes. And it's come down to we play front, back, and total. And we usually wash, right? Or someone wins the front, someone wins the back. It's always within a shot or two. Always comes down to 18. So it's a really good, fun foursome. It's awesome to find that and have guys you love playing with, and can create a little bit of a tradition moving forward.
We've been doing a lot of sixes in our matches on Sundays, where you change your partner every 6 holes. So the foursome, everybody plays with everybody else, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're getting dribs and drabs, and I think this week was the most we've heard about this TGL, this Monday night league, right? We now heard about the shot clock, but there's more and more details coming out. The teams are still rounding out. It's going to be played at Palm Beach State College. About 1,600 people will be there live. Takes place in pretty much the size of a football field. Out of the 4-man team, three guys actually play, so it's 3-on-3. Normal tee shots, bunker shots will be out of sand. They have a short game area that they can kind of adjust and move and have different lies. And then if it comes down to with the playoffs, it's the closest to the pin, which is pretty cool. So I've got a little bit more excited after seeing some of the info It's Monday night. It'll be Monday Night Football will be wrapping up because you're heading into the NFL playoffs.
Right.
Just really curious to see the first one and to see all that they kind of pull off on this.
It's right in my backyard. I got to see if
Yeah.
I can
It's like the
somehow
SoFi
get tickets
Dome
to
or
that.
something.
I don't know.
Isn't it
Yeah,
called the SoFi Dome?
It might be.
Yeah.
Well, you said it
in their
Palm Beach Atlantic, right?
Palm Beach State College.
It's at the college, but they built this special, like a dome. It's like 1,500 people. I think it sounds kind of cool, actually.
The only thing I don't like, I guess, because they said like normal driving, but it can't be because it's only the size of a football field. So I guess there is like, yes, they are driving, but they're probably hitting. And I heard the screen is like 5 times the size of anything else. Like,
oh, really?
So wait, will everything be held there? Because I know like Brad was just up in Boston to introduce the Boston Commons team.
Yeah, everything held in. I don't understand why they have these city teams, but
and then they just released like, who's Palm Beach team? They
Tiger.
Just say,
well, it's Tiger, the Jupiter Links Golf Club or something.
But only Tiger was released. Nobody else.
Right, nobody else. Yeah.
So they released all of the Boston Commons, which I think
Keegan
3 out of the 4 guys
there.
were foreigners.
Yeah,
yeah. And then they released Tiger on Palm Beach, but
JT's the only one on the Atlanta team right now that they've announced. So they're kind of been a very like strange, disjointed rollout.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no now in the future. Will they travel with this to the different cities? Maybe that'd be pretty cool. But right now, it really doesn't matter. You're the boss.
And depending on how much it costs to set up that.
Yeah.
That stadium, if they have crazy TVs and everything else. There's actually a guy in my community that I ran into the one day, and I had like a golf shirt on, and we started talking. He works for TGL, and he's like, "You should see this place we're setting up." So maybe I got to keep my eye out on. Maybe I can grab him for the pod and get some inside scoop.
That'd be cool. Yeah, so looking forward to seeing it. We'll see how it all plays out.
I guess there's teams in Atlanta, Boston, LA, San Francisco, New York, and then of course the Jupiter.
Palm Beach. Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so interesting because I was so thrown off. Brad's like going up to Boston and like the Boston Commons and Fenway, they had like locker rooms and stuff. I'm like, wait, are they playing up here too? It's like, no, that was just introducing the team. And I was like, oh.
But the co-owner of the Tigers team is the co-owner of the Sixers.
Yep.
And the Washington Commanders and the Jersey Devils and David Blitzer, which is Josh Harris's like main partner.
Yeah,
sports guy.
Wow.
Thought they were making a Philadelphia team with him.
Yeah.
Right.
He doesn't really seem to have too much of an allegiance to the city.
No.
Yeah.
They'll expand. If this thing is successful, they'll expand to more markets by next year. You can guarantee that.
I mean, think about it, right? If this thing was on next Monday night at Lincoln Financial Field and everyone could get tickets, like I'd check it out.
Yeah. When's the first one slated for?
It's early January. I forget, but first Monday.
Yeah, I got to try to get some tickets to that.
Yeah, definitely. So the Butterfield Bermuda Championship. I know Brandon's probably a little bit bummed about missing out on this one, right, Danielle? I mean, it's a beautiful place.
Well, he played last year, but I didn't go last year because I think they took a charter. So they didn't play Cabo last year, but they were somewhere in Mexico. And then they took the charter. Am I still here?
Yeah.
Like okay. It just froze on my end. They took a charter and I had to go to a wedding in Rhode Island. So I didn't go to Bermuda last year, but I know it was very windy.
Yeah.
So I felt a little bit bad switching back and forth from football to golf. I was like, does he want to be watching golf right now? But I think he's just focused on healing and getting better. So not sure if he has any FOMO from not going to Bermuda this week, but we'll see.
Yep. So you have a couple guys in the top 50: Adam Scott, Lucas Glover, also some names like Akshay Bhatia, Taylor Pendrith. 2 of the last 4 winners, Brendan Todd and Brian Gay, were 100-1 winners. So you could here and get some serious value. 5 of the top 6 finishers from 2019 played 4 or more fall events. Todd and Gay were inside the top 10 in, what did I write down? I can't even read it. Right. We just talked about driving accuracy. So something that's important here. It's not a long course. There's sometimes these guys won't even take out their drive. And then also putting, right? When Seamus is 3rd in putting that week. So that is key for sure.
Yeah, and he's the defending champ who's not available because he's injured right now. But you talk putts per round, that stat. I think 4 of the 5 winners have been in the top 5 or better. And I think Seamus Power was 6th in total putts per round when he won it. So that's a really key number too.
Yeah. Our guy Ben Griffin too. I remember last year. I think he
collapsed.
He was leading.
Yes.
Yeah. Had a chance to win his first PGA Tour event, and he ended up shooting 1 over in the final round and finished T3 with Patrick Rogers.
Harry, so this course,
yes,
the course, of course, with Harry. Talk about Port Royal Golf Club, would you?
Yeah, it's obviously, one of the most beautiful places on the planet, and apparently, allegedly, this is one of Jack Nicklaus's favorite courses. I read that somewhere. It's a Robert Trent Jones design, Tiff Eagle Bermuda all around, and it's, like you said, Moose, not the longest of courses on the PGA Tour. In fact, it's one of the 3 shortest, I believe, 6,828 yards, par 71. It's got a lot of elevation change, a lot of dog legs, and a lot of wind. That's the big thing that separates this guy and protects this golf course. Their signature hole is the par 3 16th, which is out on the water. They can stretch that sucker out to about 235 yards. There's 3 par 5s, the 2nd, the 7th, and the 17th. One of the closing holes, penultimate hole, 17th, a par 5 with water on the left. 4 par 3s, and 3 of them are 210 plus yards. So 3 really, and then they got one kind of shorty, 140, 150 length. But the 3 par 4s on the closing stretch play as 3 of the top 5 handicap holes, including the par 4 15th, which according to the scorecard is the #1 handicap. So there's drama down the stretch and a lot of beautiful scenery. So if you want to take a break from some of the bad football on Sunday, there's no Eagles games. There's a bunch of loud, the Cowboys Giants. Does that move the needle? Not for me, not with the Giants playing the way they are. So I'm going to be watching a lot of this on Sunday afternoon and taking in the beautiful scenery, the warm temperatures, and hopefully some great dramatic golf.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. So as we see the line, this is interesting. It's the first time that all 4 guys that I like have the same exact number at 2,200, which there's a cluster there. You have Akshay Bhatia, Taylor Pendrith, who has a T15 and a T3. Alex Noren, who's got 10 wins on a DP World Tour, looking for his first PGA Tour win. And then also Thomas Dietrich, who has had a T22 and was a runner-up last year at 2,200 again. The only one outside of that is I'm going to take Harry Higgs at 1,400 in a top 10.
Oh, wow. Harry might have to put up some sunscreen on that chest, the upper chest area. Yeah. Wait,
what's Harry's quote with Akshay? Anywhere there's a palm tree, he's playing decent. He played not too bad last week also, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely a play. But there's an interesting storyline too here. I don't know if you guys saw this. A local kid, 15 years old, Oliver Betchart, is in the field. He's a phenom that lives in Bermuda, 15 years old. Be watching out for him. Last week we had Billy Davis in the field, who Monday qualified. Anna Davis's brother, who's also going to Auburn to play college golf this next year. He missed the cut at -2, but Monday Q. This kid is in the field. So Oliver Betchart is a guy to keep your eye on.
Sometimes with those amateurs too, it's like they're just having fun. They're not thinking about, I got to make money to pay my bills or keep my card or anything. And they go out there and just have fun where they live. And they can get something going if they don't let nerves get the best of them.
Absolutely.
It'd be fun to watch.
Any other plays you like on this one, Harry?
You'd mentioned Dietrich, plus 2,000. Where is that now? Did that move? Because I had it at plus 2,000
earlier.
Okay. I'm going to take something on him. He was high up in the field last year, and there's a little bit of value there with that number. But Tia, I got in a top 10 at plus 240. Ben Griffin, plus 260 in a top 10. And then I took 2 matchups: Brendan Todd over Adam Scott, -110, and Alex Noren over Smalley at -120.
It's both on the Noren train there.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. Well, we'll be back next week. We'll take a look, see what happens, and then we get into what Sea Island is.
The RSM.
Yeah, last event of the new season, right?
Yeah, but we also have the Champions Tour finals this weekend in Phoenix. Steve Stricker plus 350, along with Padraig Harrington are the 2 favorites. Plus 350.
Oh,
that's crazy.
That's
crazy.
Like Tiger Rory numbers. Jeez.
I know. Yeah. I know.
Well, good luck to those guys. Thanks again to Andrew Patterson from PXG for joining us. Can't wait to get out there and check it out. And we'll be back next week. Thanks a lot.